very senior architect who asked me when we conducted a program here in 2016 about the introduction of NBC Part 4. He's a very senior architect. He called and he asked, Rakhi, can I come and listen to Mr. Dheri? Because Mr. Dheri was the chairman of NBC Part 4 at that time. So nowadays we can really see there are a lot of change. There are a lot of stress on safety and security of the building. That's a welcome change. So let me take a moment to appreciate this panel again. Professionals, you people are definitely designing clear exits, planning safe evacuation paths, ensuring compliance with codes, and integrating fire systems and safety systems thoroughly to your buildings. And few of you are teaching how to make a safe building, not as an afterthought, but as a part of design. Because following standards and codes is not just about compliance. It's about a responsibility. And it's about protecting lives, of course. And so that's why it deserves recognition also. So we have actually an award for different categories. Will be like, usually we will do along with our fire and security exhibition. This year it is in Bombay. It's on 3rd, 4th and 5th of September. I request all of you to kindly come in so that a lot of new technology, lot of seminars, lot of things will be there. Even the young professionals who are learning also, it's it's a learning experience, because a lot of stalwarts from the industries are participating in all these seminars and all that, which is not that easy to listen otherwise, because hardly not much people are talking very regularly. So my sincere appreciation to the educators and these institutions. Nowadays, the colleges also started having included fire safety as their curriculum. So that was a powerful step, because earlier fire engineering, okay, like for oil and gas industry, they used to take safety officers, like that way courses were there for that. But fire engineering as a subject, or fire safety and security as a subject in the colleges, were not there almost 2 decades back. So this introducing this as the curriculum itself is a powerful step, because awareness at the design stage creates safety at the construction stage. When the students learn it early, they don't see it as an extra subject, because this senior architects used to ask us a lot of questions when we go there and meet them and all that, because they were not familiar with that. So nowadays, it's not an extra subject. They know that it's a part of design itself. It's a welcome change. And we often we are used to admire buildings, how they look, how the facade is, what type of lighting it is, and what a beautiful garden, and the aesthetics of the building, interior, all that. But there is actually, people started appreciating something deeper nowadays, how they perform, how intelligent is the building, how much energy is getting conserved there, what are the automation systems there, how the protection systems are working. And all that is really matters now. Suppose an occupant is coming there, and many of these big companies, they have an auditor who comes there and inspect the building to find out. Because long time back, when I saw Shell, this one safety officer from Shell came and they have inspected what about the fire safety of this building. Then only he allowed them to, they gave the clearance for the Shell people to occupy that building. So that and all is actually coming into practice in India also. But earlier, still, all of us are aware. No one has ever said, okay, oh, wow, you have fire exit there, or nothing like that way. It is not being appreciated that much. But architects are definitely, thanks to all the architects, these fundamentals are really taken care nowadays for the new buildings. Earlier, we never used to see proper exits, proper evacuation plan, nothing we used to see. But nowadays, thanks to all these new architects, they are definitely taking care of all that. And it is making definitely a difference. It was a quiet transition, but it was consistent. And I should say it is it created an impact and there is a change. What is also encouraging is how fire safety is now being integrated. Not just system, but in the planning itself, it is being integrated. It's not just equipments now, but there is a vision. There is everything is being definitely taken care. And as a woman in a field, we bring something very special. We think of people around us usually. We think about our families, other families, children, elderly and physically handicapped people, vision and hearing challenged people. So when we when the ladies are doing it, I think little more stress is there for the safety and security. We ask simple questions: is it safe? Is it clear? Can everyone exit easily? All that being asked nowadays. Earlier it was not there. And when these questions are asked early, safety being natural, it will come, it will put in practice. It's not a forced decision nowadays. Okay, we can see sometime, okay, just for the compliance, people are doing it also. There are builders like that way, but there is definitely a conscious change. And today is not being telling what to do. Some people are most of the people are, they are willing to do safety for their building. It's about appreciating what is already being done and encouraging more of it also. Because every safety design, every aware student and every responsible architect is contributing to this safer world, and FSA is also contributing to the same mission. And I would like to close my short speech by saying this: great architecture inspires us when we walk in or we see the building, but it earns its true value when it ensures we can all walk out safely. I would also like to sincerely thank our moderator once again, Professor Dr. Arshia Khajooria Hazarika, and all our esteemed panelists, architects Sridevi, Adlakha, Sujal, and Dr. Amrutha, Sachin, and Professor Swati Behl for sharing your valuable knowledge and insight. And thank you for spending your time. And you are dedicating today, even on a Sunday, for the benefit of the members of Fire and Security Association of India. And I would like also to thank Professor Nagendra and all the other teams of FSAI Chandigarh chapter for the rest of their term in their office. Wishing you to do more meaningful programs like this, sir. And all the best to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you so much for walking us through the entire journey of, the changes in the construction industry, and about importance of fire safety, and how things have moved in past few decades, and how women involvement has increased over the years. And we are grateful to the insight you have provided us today. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would...
My pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And privilege.
Yes. We are hoping that under your leadership, ma'am, we will do better for India. Surakshit Bharat.
Thank you, sir. It is our mission. Thank you,
yes,
sir.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Thank you.
So now I shall, before we go through the next half an hour, we will explore the key questions. Before we begin, a short introduction of today's panelist. Architect Sridevi Adlakha, Associate Architect, OSSA Architects, Bangalore, with 30 years of practice and around 25 years of contribution to education. She has been a visiting faculty, professor in design chair for 9 years with Nitesh School of Architecture, Planning and Design, Bangalore. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm pleased to introduce Mrs. Sujal Shah Seth, Director, NewAge Firefighting Company Limited, Chair, FSAI Surakshit Naari, who brings over 23 years of diverse experience in technology, marketing, and international business. She plays a key role in leading global operations with NewAge to over 60 countries. With a legacy of more than 6 decades, the NewAge Group stands as one of the Asia's largest manufacturing unit for firefighting hoses, and equipment.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome, ma'am. I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Amrutha Sachin, Professor and Director at Nehru School of Architecture, Coimbatore. With nearly 2 decades of experience, she is an accomplished architect, urban designer, applied psychologist, and academic leader. She has contributed extensively to design practice, research, and education with publications, projects, awards to her credit. Her expertise spans sustainable design, heritage conservation, and innovative teaching practices. I welcome Professor Swati Behl Uppal, Principal, University of Architecture, Chandigarh University, who has a degree of Masters in Planning with specialization in environmental planning from School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. Professor Swati has an experience of over 22 years with good amalgamation of both working in field and academics. Her research interests are urban planning, urban design and built environment, and spatial planning, urban land use and policy. She has many publications and has presented talks and papers at various platforms. I welcome all the panelists.
Thank you.
I request all the participants to keep their mics on mute during the panel discussion. We will have question and answer session after the culmination of panel discussion. I encourage the audience to engage actively, reflect deeply, and take forward the insights that shape both professional practice and academic discourse. With that, let us begin this meaningful dialogue. As we all know, fire safety requirements are essential compliance requirements. My question to Mrs. Sujal Shah: how can fire safety move from being a compliance requirement to a core design driver?
Thank you, madam. Thank you for that question. And first of all, I would like to thank Nagendra ji for having me here. Arshia ma'am, thank you for all the coordination, and my fellow panelists. Pleasure to meet you. I see somebody is from Bangalore, Mohali, Coimbatore. What a diverse panel. And Rakhi ma'am, always so nice to see you smiling, always smiling, and leading the entire clan of FSAI this year. Uh, you have no idea how proud we feel to see a female president sitting on the apex position. It gives a lot of motivation and encouragement to people like us. So wonderful being here. Arshia ma'am, coming back to your question,
Thank you, ma'am.
You talked about moving fire safety from compliance to core design driver, and just when you were introducing the topic of this panel discussion, you mentioned that what we are currently doing is mostly post design validation. So first and foremost, I would like to mention here that we need to have a transition from post design validation to pre design philosophy. So just having a compliance based model after designing the entire building, just trying to tick mark the check boxes is not going to work anymore, and it should not happen that ways. So the shift has to happen, and to make that shift, the fire and security needs to be reframed as maybe we can think of it as a value creator. So when I say value creator, the buildings become safer and they enhance the asset longevity, or even the insurance companies can put some of the focus on creating more value for certain level of not only compliances, but let's say performance based designs, or um maybe the user trust would also increase if we are able to create some value. So there has to be a mechanism to create more value when we talk about pre-design philosophy. Uh, you also mentioned that we give a lot of weightage to. I think you or maybe Rakhi ma'am mentioned that we give a lot of weightage to a building's aesthetic look or maybe the facilities that are provided inside a building. Uh, let's say, talking about a layman, if somebody is going out looking for a home for himself, or maybe an office space, what they see is switches kaun se lage hai, bathroom mein fittings kaun se lage hai, Kohler hai, Jaguar hai, right? So something should be done to even create a brand differentiation when it comes to fire and security. Like the developers who prioritize safety, they should be able to gain a stronger market credibility. They should be able to really feel that they are creating some brand differentiation for the user segment to understand and to actually make it worthwhile. And then for all of these to happen, early stage collaboration is very, very important, because like I said, if we think of fire and security at a later stage, probably it's too late. If the building design is already done and the construction is done, and uske baad agar sochne baithe, so then that is not how it is going to work. So the integrated design parameters needs to be taken care of while designing. So every line that, I mean, I would say every line that any architect draws, uh, they should think about the design. They should think about the fire and security from that particular nascent stage itself. And for early stage collaboration, bringing the fire consultants, the MEP consultants, the architects, everybody on a table is very, very important. We cannot work in silos anymore. And all these disciplines, there has to be a bridge where all these disciplines can be integrated. If I talk about the same thing from an academic point of view, I am sure that the architecture students, they have a regulatory subject of fire and security. Probably it's in the third semester or third year or something like that. But then, we must move from the regulatory subject thing to design intelligence layer. We have to uh, you know do our jobs to make it a design intelligence layer. So it cannot be like one subject. It cannot be like a separate thing. Okay, this is done, that is done, something like that. It has to be a layer which is integrated since from the day they come to the college. I mean, from the day they start drawing their first line.
Right.
The students should be taught to think in terms of scenario basis, as in they should be able to think of the scenarios while they are designing the buildings. They should be able to think, how will the smoke move in case of fire, how will the building react, how will the aesthetics that they are using inside the building, or the material that they are using inside the building, how is it going to react to fire, how will the evacuation happen, how will the fire actually spread. So if the students, they start asking the right questions, they start thinking in different scenarios, they would be able to definitely make better designs which are more pro to evacuation strategies, which are more pro to curb the incidents in case of fire. And like I said, integration. So architect students, they must collaborate with MEP consultants. And how can we make that happen is, we should actually take them to the sites. Now only teaching them something in the classroom is not going to help. We should be taking them to the sites. And I'm not talking about the sites after they are done. So while the fire systems are being installed, probably they should be able to go to these sites, and they should be see for themselves कि installations कैसे होते हैं, what exactly is required. I mean, sprinklers कैसे operate होते हैं, कैसे लगते हैं, how are they installed, because that gives them a lot of insight while designing certain things. It actually opens their mind to all these systems. So only talking about the systems is not important. When I say hydrant valve, the student would fail to understand whether the valve is a small valve or a bigger valve, or it's like a 10 kg, or it's like a 20 kg. So if they would have seen these things in their real time experience, that would really help. So all in all, to sum it up, I would say the design part is very, very important, and fire and security should be part of each and every design and each and every line that is being drawn on the board.
Thank you so much for the insights. I would like to just conclude that as Ms. Sujal has mentioned, that we basically have to add value to fire safety in our buildings, and that would maybe be easily done if we spread more awareness about the importance of fire safety, as and it is even more important than the aesthetics of the building. That is what basically we have to understand as construction industry people, and as well as the people who are living in buildings and working in buildings. We as architects are involved in design processes, which includes not only space planning, but also various safety compliance requirements interwoven throughout the project. My question to you, Architect Sridevi, what are the most common design oversights that compromise fire safety in buildings today?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Arshia. And I would like to say a hello to all of you here, Professor Nagendra sir, and Sujal ma'am, Amrutha, Rakhi ma'am, and Swati. It was really nice to meet all of you on the panel. Before I go to my question, I would like to add something to what Sujal said today. Uh, you talked about post design intervention. It is no more the case. And nowadays, it's like the norms have become very stringent. In fact, we have to obtain an NOC before we actually go for the building sanction. So, yes, things have improved and fire safety awareness has increased over the years, as Rakhi ma'am said. So, yes, of course, the other points which you said about integrated fire safety subjects with design and things, yes, it has to start from the beginning so that there's better understanding of everything. Coming to the question, what Arshia ma'am has put on to me, it is about the design oversights. It's basically because the fire safety failures, I feel, is basically because of few design oversight, you know. And first and foremost would be as simple as the staircases, the width of the staircase, or like we need to see what where is the placement of the fire escape staircases in the design, and what is the distance to be traveled in the corridors. All this has to be and they are very important in fire safety. And travel distances are very well mentioned in the NBC based on the occupancy. So we fail sometimes to relate to this or read through this and go through this in the design process. And what happens is, in high-rise buildings nowadays, we have something called a dedicated fire tower also, which has the fire escape staircase and the fireman's lift and the FHC, which is called the fire hose cabinet. So all these three form a part of the fire tower, which is generally there in buildings which are G+15. And uh, generally the FHC opens towards the fire tower. So all these norms are being implemented in design, but there are certain. I would give you examples, you know, that would clarify better, because now there are the fire rated doors, and also the materials. You could say fire rated materials which are being used all over, maybe for the doors, the walls, or the floors. And generally for the staircases, the fire rating is generally for 120 minutes, whereas the other places it's lesser. all these norms are sometimes followed. It all depends on the client. So the client being aware of all this is very important. What happens is, sometimes, like if I give you an example of, I don't know if all of you have read through this. There was this Carlton Tower accident which happened, fire accident which happened in Bangalore a few years back, maybe around 15 years back or so. If I remember right, the main entrance, there were two entrances to the building. One was the north and one was the east. So both the entrances had this 8 meter, which could let in a fire vehicle. But unfortunately, after the building was constructed, there were certain modifications made, in the sense that there were some barricades put in the entrances, which unfortunately could not let in the fire vehicle. And also the staircases, the fire escape staircase should always have a door, and it should be an enclosed space, like it should have a fire rated door. But in this case, there was a collapsible shutter which was put. And so when the fire broke out, people could not move both the ways. And also, every corridor was changed internally. There were some interiors done up. There were some cabinets which were made in between the corridors. So that really created panic. And one more point which I would like to emphasize in all these fire safety measures which we take, I feel smoke is more dangerous than the fire itself. So if you talk about the Uppal cinema tragedy which happened many years back, almost around 51, 52 people, they choked because of the smoke and not the fire itself. So these are, and you could talk about the 2611 incident which took place in Taj. There also, what happens as designers, we feel open kind of planning is very interesting, looks great, but then we fail to understand that we should have smoke detectors wherever possible. And also, this is all not taken care of. So maybe from the fire safety point of view, even if we are having an open kind of a planning, we should see how it works well. So easy accessibility is very important. These are a few of the points I would like to tell you. And talking about the staircases again, any building, we need to have staircases running only till the ground floor, to the topmost floor. And the staircases which go to the basement will have access only till the ground floor, not to the upper floors. So it's cut off there. We do have these specifications of overhead tanks and also fire sumps which are to be provided in buildings nowadays. So in high-rise buildings, we need dedicated overhead tanks and fire sumps which need to be provided. And there is one motor which is a diesel motor which is the only one which will be functioning during such incidents. The rest of the motors are cut off, and these motors also have specification given by the National Safety Protection, Fire Safety Protection Association. So these motors have to be are specified by this. So there are many specifications which come in, and this is how I think there are some oversights which do happen, but now I think it's seemingly reducing, and designers are getting more aware because rules are becoming more stringent, and it's a good thing that this is happening.
Thank you so much, Architect Sridevi. I would just conclude that basically we have all the measures in place, but at sometimes our calculations and our design strategies and renovations at times get these kind of compromises to fire safety in buildings. And this could be related to oversights over a period of time. The importance is not paid because there has not been an incident at times, and sometimes the calculations with the occupancy rates are not correlating. Thank you so much for your opinion, ma'am. I would like to move to our next panelist. Architects deal with projects of different scales. Question for Dr. Amrutha Sachin is, in high-density urban projects, how can architects balance aesthetics, efficiency, and safety? Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm super excited to share the platform with my two best friends, whom we knew not as doctors or professors, as just Arshia, as
Yeah.
Nagendra, as Amrutha. Wow, those were the days. Thank you
I
so
know.
much, Nagendra sir and Arshia ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. It feels so nostalgic, and distinguished panel members and the chairman of FSAI. I'm really delighted and glad I made up to this event with Arshia's invitation, because it was such a nice thing, no, that everybody are talking about it, and I wish a lot of students participated in this. I don't know, somehow this year seems to be pretty much of a fire year for me, because coincidentally I have handled the subject for the fourth year BARC students building automation system. In that, fire is one of the thing, and yes,
Right.
all these smoke detectors, alarm systems, so all of this is I'm totally able to get connected to, and with this kind of live case studies, disasters, with all that, it's such a nice platform. Thank you. Okay, coming to this question of the high density urban projects. Now, first and foremost, the planners and architects, urban designers, they have a very responsible position. The reason is they do not have one client, they have a overwhelming responsibility. So that is to see to it their end users are kind of navigated through in their design project, because we're not catering to the just the client or the investment that comes into it. Of course, it is a huge burden on the planner and the designer. But when it comes to architects, it's very easy, because you can convince your client, you can make them see through the lens of your perspective, education, or your exposure and experience. But it is definitely not possible in an urban design context. And what happens is, when the complexity, when the scale multiplies, of course, like earlier Sridevi ma'am was talking, and even Sujal ma'am also was talking about, there are norms, and the compliances are all met, but who is using? See, the person who has designed is not in the fire movement. Okay, the building owner is not there, the masons or whoever has made the electrician, none of those technical people are there. Who are there? Do you know who comes first? First is security, anna, security buy, and the people who are there, the scavengers, because they understand where is that point that they have to reach. So what is happening over here is, we need to revive, or let's say that we have to change our own notion of how are we making it aesthetically pleasant. For example, now in a huge courtyard, or let us say, to create that ambience and make it more welcoming, we do a lot of sculpture garden, we create that fountain, all those things. But none of us have thought of making that kind of a logo, or that kind of a familiar picture or a diagram that people can connect to when there is a disaster, or then there is a emergency that they have to deal with it. So this comes with a lot of human touch, I must say. And in this human touch, it is not only the user of the building, it is people who come into the building, so it is by and large the public. So it is a promise that actually the urban designer should give to the public, saying that when you come to this kind of a area, it is still safe, because everything is fine over here. And that doesn't come just like that, that doesn't come with lot of glamour, like how the foreign projects show. No, there will be fountains everywhere, there'll be a lot of benches, seaters, and all this. It's all outdoor. But what happens indoor is always with the AC systems and all that thing, right? But even then, if you are having some kind of a planters or openers or whatever it is, people will not understand how to get rid of this circumstance or this situation. So for example, the fire escape staircase itself, that is all well connected, and there's a diagram which is mapped to lead to it. If it is a air hostess, she will lead the people through it, right? But here everybody is in a panic condition, including the person who comes for the rescue. Of course, the firefighters will come only in the end. So this particular mitigation for this, I think planners are not yet into it. So this human intervention and making it more humanized thought process is important. So that is where the high density urban projects will have to be dealt. And automatically, when we get sensitive to these 2-3 things, right, automatically the aesthetics or the efficiency or the safety is all it all follows next. So the first and foremost, what it takes is the heart and mind to think of how the public who comes into it, who do not know where is your entry, where is your exit, where what belongs, how they can be made as people friendly. So this people centric attitude in a designer is very, very essential. That is the only way we can deal with this particular thing, and not by only education, not by only awareness. It is people centric approach.
Thank you so much. That was very interesting. We would actually, when we are staying in a hotel or a unknown building, or where we have not followed some kind of a fire drill, we just maybe need an air hostess to guide us through. So yes, human intervention, and somewhere the awareness which we need to spread among people is a very important factor. Thank you so much. Architecture education is the foundation for imbibing core values into professionals. My question to you, Professor Swati Uppal, is whether fire safety is taught adequately in architecture schools, or is it still treated as a secondary subject?
So thank you for the question, and it's always such a pleasure to see both of you, Dr. Nagendra and Dr. Arshia, such pleasant personalities, and thank you for connecting with such stalwarts of our fraternity. So coming to my question, and I will be very honest that fire safety has historically been treated as a compliance-driven subject in many architecture schools rather than a core design discipline. Right. So in most of the institutions, it is introduced through building services or codes, or maybe in sometime in construction subjects, but not always integrated deeply into the design studio where major decisions are actually taken. And as Sridevi ma'am, in our studios, it's done later. Once the design is done, and when we have marks for it, it is done later. So although the situation is changing, and with increasing urban density and high-rise development and a lot of greater public awareness after major fires that have happened globally, architecture education is beginning to recognize the fire safety norms, and that it cannot be a secondary subject. But the real issue is not whether it is present in the curriculum, but how it is taught in the curriculum. So if the students only memorize the setbacks, the staircase width, or the code clauses, they may pass the exam, but not truly understand the safety designs. So for safety designs, this thing has to be embedded in the studio projects. Case studies should be taken up more often, and then the design should have the evacuation planning and material selection and what type of facade, and like smoke is one of the major cause. So students, in the design, if we can embed the smoke movement and coordination of the structural and MEP systems, this is the real way to really teach. And as Sujal ma'am said, that this is more has to be taught as a design intelligence and not as a regulatory checklist. So what we really are doing till now, but in many places it is. So I will honestly say that it is underemphasized, but the profession and academia are moving in the right directions. So the next step is deeper integration and practical simulations that we are learning. And there's a lot of interdisciplinary learning happening at the institutes now. And real world hands-on case studies are studied. So now I think it is, we are getting more conscious with it, and especially with this FSAI student chapters that we are making and their regular activities. I think the students are now more more sensitized with the fact that fire has to be taken care of. And now it is slowly moving towards design intelligence than a regulatory checklist. But yeah, earlier and to quite an extent, it was a regulatory checklist which was remembered by students, and it was more of a theory subject. So it has to be embedded in design, which I think we all are now slowly taking it to it. And I think a lot of credit, to my understanding, goes to this FSAI student chapters that we are making. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And it's a welcoming change which we are now witnessing in the academic also. And we are all together contributing towards a safer world. Mrs. Sujal, could you please throw some light on where do you see the biggest gap between building codes and actual implementation?
Yeah, sure. Before that, I would like to go back to the earlier thing where Sridevi ji said, she said something about the smoke, right? She said that she thinks smoke can kill people. I would like to, come in over there. NFPA, the Fire Protection Association, says that about 70 to 80% of the deaths, they are caused by smoke and not fire. So fire is, hardly the culprit, as in, yes, fire is the culprit, but not for the death. Okay, I mean, in case of fire, when people die, they die because of the inhalation of smoke. So yes, smoke is very, very important, navigating the smoke and, finding out what is going to be the pathways, how the ventilation strategies should be implemented and things like that. They are very, very important. And ma'am, when I talked about, the post design validation, I was talking about the downstream checklist, and with due respect to the entire architecture fraternity, we have seen these things happening. I mean, not in all the cases, of course. And at times, we have also seen that it may or may not be the architect's fault. But they do happen. There are a lot of reasons behind it, even the enforcements. There are various codes that we follow. There are certain regional codes that needs to be followed. And then with, we seeing a lot of high-rise buildings. Now, there is all, there are, I mean, I myself in Maharashtra, I see that, the definition of a high-rise would be X and it would be Y in certain other regions. So yes, these things do happen, but I do understand your point that it is not like it happens everywhere and all the times. But they do happen. As a manufacturer, I have seen so many times कि ये equipment अब यहाँ पे नहीं लग सकता है because so and so reasons, और अभी ये नया करना पड़ेगा या इसको बाहर से लगाना पड़ेगा क्योंकि अंदर जगह ही नहीं है and things like that. So that do happen. But yes, I do take your point as well that it is not like 100% thing. Now, coming to the gap, Dr. Arshia, you asked me about the gap. So there, okay, it is not that the codes are not there. The codes are there, but more than the gaps, it is the execution discipline where we see the major, shift has to happen. So when I say execution discipline, in current times when everything is becoming costlier and the margins are becoming thinner and thinner for the entire value chain at each stage of the value chain, I think cost optimization is very, very important. So we think in terms of cost optimization. We think in terms of at times, if required, we also try to dilute certain requirements. I think on the need basis, whatever is required to comply, I mean, we would do that. At times, we would, shy away from going an extra mile or doing something better, because fire safety is not like aesthetic कि अच्छा थोड़ा ज़्यादा पैसा डाल दो, इसका polish ये कर दो तो ये better दिखेगा या something like that. So we never, think from that point of view. We always want to comply to, what is required, what is a must. So we think in terms of that. Again, the lack of audits. So now let us assume that, the systems are up and running. Everybody did their job fantastically. The building is already given to the occupants. But then what about the operations? What about the audits? So we have seen, there are lack of audits. At times, there is also a major disconnect between the drawings and the on-site installations that happens for the firefighting systems. We do not ensure that we give proper training to the occupants. I don't think, the occupants are being given any training for fire safety. Maybe the facility management companies, they do it, but as a member of FSAI, as a leader in Pune chapter, at FSAI, what we have seen is when we try to go and educate occupants, when we try to drive, the society fire and safety awareness programs, the audience which we get is usually the, not usually, I would say mostly, I mean, let me be very upfront and honest. We get the audience of drivers, maids, the ayahs or the caretakers and children. So mostly we do not see the residents coming downstairs for the trainings as well. So the awareness is lacking big time, not only in the uneducated people, but also, talking about the literate people, like educated people like us, we lack the awareness. People do not want to even go downstairs and from their homes, they don't want to go downstairs and take the awareness basic training as well. So, I mean, there's no training to the occupants, and when I talk about all of these things, the point which I'm trying to make is that the ownership is so fragmented that we cannot talk about the gap in the codes. Whatever is there, the ownership is so fragmented that it is not helping. And if at all we want to change this, we have to tap the next generation. We have to tap the students and we have to make them understand about all of these things. NBC is there, it is there in place, but the translation from the drawings to reality has to happen in 100%, in a complete manner. Like I said earlier, the site visits or the site exposures by fire installations, they are very, very important to bridge this gap. And not only the occupants, but even the architects, I think they should be taught about the importance of not only the installing. I mean, the installation is only one part of the entire life cycle. So after the design, then it goes to the installation, then it goes to operation, it goes to maintenance, and there should be regular fire audits. So the architect should also, taught to understand the importance of the entire life cycle. And again, many architects I have seen, they work as interior designers. And I've also seen that for the high-rise buildings, there would be the sprinklers and there would be the fire pipes in the homes. While doing the interior designing, they would simply put the cupboards over there, or they would, make the locks and they would actually hide the sprinklers and they would hide the pipes. This is so common at so many places that I have seen. And so I think, when they are studying it, right from their educational level, they should be given all of these understanding that during their profession or even after their profession, certain things cannot happen and they should not happen. And all these things should be taught at a very, very nascent stage to bridge these gaps. Thank you so much.
Arshia ma'am,
You
unmute
are
please.
mute, madam.
Arshia ma'am, you are muted. Yes.
Arshia ma'am, you are on mute.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. So with your thank you so much, ma'am. With your insights, we are basically concluding that after the design, after the actual implementation has taken place, the awareness system is lacking, and a system of regular audits is very important for fire safety. So let's move to the role of women in fire safety design. Architect Sridevi, what would you have to say? How can more women be encouraged to specialize in technical domains like fire safety?
Being a woman myself, I would say, I think faster the better. So maybe an early exposure to career advancement. So when we have masters in project management and things like that, why not fire and public safety?
Right.
I think that would integrate into architecture, and as Sujal was just saying, I think it can respond better. So, but people who are working in fire protection systems or building safety codes and things like that, they have to integrate with them and bridge the gap. It is not possible to do this in isolation. I think we should integrate many subjects and get more women. And if you ask me specifically about women, then I think they're more sensitive to
Right.
certain parts of design. I mean, we are more observant in certain areas and more sensitive. So we can bring in better quality, I feel, to a certain extent. That is what I feel. And it is right now, fire safety is considered a niche. So I think we should break that and see that it is spread more and more awareness is created. Once that comes out, then maybe we can have people when, as women, we are going into all the fields. Why not this? I
Right.
think it will matter more.
Right.
Masters in fire and public safety is worthwhile, I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have to just go there and shatter the glass ceiling, basically.
Yeah, we have to reframe the whole thing as maybe a innovation driven field,
Right.
because we are having smart buildings coming in and things like that. So when
Right.
all that is integrated, I think it will work well. That's what is my view.
Thank you so
And
much.
I feel, adding on to Sujal, I feel, according to what she said, I really feel that the code compliance is definitely not equivalent to fire safety. We'll have to have both of them well read and well aware of on the whole.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man.
Thank
Now
you.
over to Dr. Amrutha. Sachin. As a woman architect, have you encountered unique challenges or perspectives while dealing with safety concerns on site or in decision-making roles? Also, do you think women bring different sensitivity or approach to life safety and user-centric design?
100%. Now, I think everybody will agree if I say that we are considered that women nag. But you see, that is not our weakness, that is our strength.
Right.
Okay. People, especially in the decision making level, it necessarily need not be a male or a female or whatever it is. They are heading towards so many other things that their mind doesn't comprehend to think of something bad. Okay, when say that this is being considerate, what are the chances? You tell me, in 1 in 100, okay, 1 in 20. Why are you getting judgmental? Why you should even think of that one? See, that sensitivity is in the DNA of a female, That is why women are very much into these kind of things. And if you see in the panel, all are women, okay? And the highest position, the chairperson is also a lady. So
Yeah.
that means our affinity towards protection or that DNA structuring is very strong, super strong. Now this is something which people don't want to see because we are so accustomed to seeing something pleasant all the time. We always welcome pleasant things, but what about the unpleasant happening, right? So that sensitivity, it is very difficult to break, be it any authority, your own friend who is doing a building, that task it comes, okay, tell me what are the chances. So it's to what are the chances and judgment, no? So with respect to that, if I have to say, uh, even if it is going to hurt them, it's going to hit their table very hard, but it is our duty as a mother, as a parent, as a woman, as a sister, or whatever this thing they're trying to protect. Because you see, there is one thing, when we make all these regulatory compliances or even the codes, if we are integrating into a career development, into a very big super structured this thing career also, if you see, the firefighter are always men. That means we lack that masculine power to hold things, but then we have that super sensitivity towards probably we are the ones who are going to try and prevent it from happening, no? So that is why women will always be questioned, will always be challenged for this thought of this. But we are not going to stop. We are going to do more of this, and we are going to tell them that, come on, this is the way forward, right? So having said that, I would like to also formally say that yes, the challenges are real, and in many sites that even when we raise our concerns, they are brushed aside. It is all maybe it is coded as, you're overcautious. It is okay. It's absolutely fine, because like I said, it is not a weakness. It is definitely a strength. And yes, when we bring a lot of a different lens, people trying to refuse it. But I think it is not about gender alone. It is about being empathetic. And empathy, when it is translated into design, I think that is what becomes inclusive, and that is what is the definition of safe measures. Okay, and whether it is a site or a boardroom, I think we all should remind our fellow colleagues and mates that safety is not negotiable. So it is not a soft concern, by the way. It is the hardest truth of our profession. And I think this is where women often here ensure that the truth is never forgotten. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And yes, absolutely. It's not the muscular strength. It's maybe, addressing issue or dealing with complex situations, which make and multitasking, which makes women more or equally suitable as men in this
I would
particular
like to
profession.
add one more thing. We women, we add depth to the safety of design. Okay.
Right,
So we
right,
do not only calculate the escape times, we
right,
imagine that the human journey, which has to be, safely escorted. And that
right,
means that imagination, which we bring on the table, this makes architecture truly human. And it is about designing not just buildings, it's also the people who are using. So the
right,
design of their life, we are the designers of their life and
right,
lifestyle rather.
right,
Okay, so it
right,
is about designing trust, designing reassurance, and designing survival.
right. Right. Thank you so much. Professor Swati, we would like to understand what role case studies of fire incidents can play in architectural education, and how effective are tools like BIM and simulation softwares in predicting fire risks.
So yeah, case studies, of course, when a person learns through a case study and not only the theoretical guidelines, they do make a transformative role in architectural education and on the students, because now they are converting the abstract codes and theoretical guidelines into real human-centered lessons. So student may understand the dimensions, the exits, and the material specifications in theory, but when they examine an actual incident, it does bring in a real it's an eye opener for them. So in one of our services classes, what we had done, they had to analyze the Kamla Mill fire in Mumbai. I think it
Right,
happened in 2017, and
right,
so this was one given to one of the groups. Every group was given some. So all these case studies, they could understand that the the problem actually happened because of unauthorized alterations or combustible interior materials or maybe overcrowded occupancy. They could understand that. And what architecture student could actually analyze out of these case studies, what the answers and the project reports were like, that they begin to see material selection not only as an aesthetic decision, but a life safety decision. So they understand that vertical circulation, core, refuge areas, and escape routes must be planned from the earliest design stage and not, added later. So they realize that poor detailing can have reversible consequences. So yeah, so this helps the student move from designing a impressive building to designing a safe, ethical, and resilient environment. So I think case studies help a lot in making them understand theory into actual practical, where they analyze the whole thing. And coming to BIM, yes, this is a thing that we all have added into our syllabuses. And of course, the tool is which allows architects and engineers to predict risks before a building is constructed. So instead of reacting after a problem occurs, these tools do help the team to test the safety performance during the design stage. and through digital models, and designers can study the evacuation time and the smoke spread through the corridors, and the performance of staircase can be done. And the best part is to bringing all these people together on one platform of architecture, MEP and structure people and the fire consultants on the one platform. I think this reduces a lot of conflicts, such as duct blocking the fire rated walls, or services interfering with the escape routes. So these tools are of course very, very reliable, as long as the data and the assumptions and the expertise behind them is reliable. But yeah, we all have, we all have incorporated BIM now in our curriculums. And because I said that what we were teaching was more regulatory checklists, but now we have shifted into which is actually a very small 3-credit course, but we are trying to do it based on case studies so that students can understand it better beyond theoretical guidelines.
Thank you so much. I think we are moving in the right direction in a lot of things. And also, as I understand, Professor Swati, the BIM and other kind of softwares which predict different kind of challenges which a building or the occupants will face post-construction are very useful in our curriculum as well as in everyday life. Mrs. Sujal, are current Indian fire safety codes sufficient, or do you think they need some kind of revision?
So, yeah. So we have NBC, right? We have the National Building Code of India. And it is reasonably a very robust framework that NBC talks about. However, looking at the rapid development that we are seeing nowadays, like India is coming up with a lot of data centers. We see many more mixed-use buildings coming up. I mean, they are already there, and there are more coming up. Then we also see a lot of high-rise. I mean, now we are not only talking about high-rise, but we are talking about like super high-rise buildings.
Right.
So yes, there can be certain evolutions required in these areas which are new to the canvas of India as well, as in the rapid development which we are seeing. We can definitely think of some performance-based design integration. When I say performance-based design integration, I mean we talk about the smoke modeling or the evacuation simulators, maybe, because we do not know super high-rise buildings are very new to us in India, and we can definitely use some simulators to understand how the evacuation exactly happens, in at such heights. Somebody also mentioned about helipad. I was going through the question, so yes, I think that is also very important when we are talking about evacuations from the super high-rise buildings, because coming down through the staircase is not going to be possible at all. Again, we can also think about aligning ourselves with some global practices which are proven, proven as best practices for these emerging building typologies. And like I said, the enforcement ecosystem. We can definitely have a stronger enforcement ecosystem at the municipal levels or at the state levels to actually ensure that these codes can be evolved, and whatever is there in place can be executed properly. So basically, upgradation can help, and some enforcement maturity can also do the job.
Thank you so much. I think the simulation thing is a very good idea. We could simulate designs as we simulate for energy efficiency. We can do similarly for fire safety. And now I have questions open to all panelists, whoever wishes to answer. How can women architects and professionals influence the creation of safer and more inclusive spaces? And what are the future trends in fire safety architecture? Over to you all.
We
I
have
think Amrutha
yes, yes.
ma'am already said that we nag a lot and we make sure the thing is happening. And I think as a woman in academia, we are doing our bit by adding and to the curriculum, and also we're part of university, so changing the curriculum is also we can do that, and we are doing that and I think one more thing is that women have more empathy. So when we probably design for a little more inclusive, where we do consider children, pregnant women, people with disabilities, and
Right.
I think community perspective for women means a little more, not only
Right.
in design, generic also. The community perspective does make a difference to us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, ma'am.
Future trends, could you any? And
So I
Ma'am,
think
we have a practicing architect from, yes, ma'am, please, Sujal, ma'am.
yes,
no,
please.
no, you can go ahead. Nagendra ji, आप पहले बताइए.
हाँ जी,
No,
चलो फिर मैं सबके लिए
three
खोल देती
faces,
हूँ सर.
three
1 minute, I'll just
three
open for
faces.
everybody. As we
हाँ,
come to an end of the insightful discussion, I would like to
Yes,
extend
yes.
my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed panelists for sharing their valuable perspectives and experiences on rethinking fire safety in design and education. Today's conversation has clearly highlighted that fire safety is not just a matter of compliance, but a fundamental responsibility that must be integrated into our design approach, academic system, and professional practice. Before we conclude, I would like to open the floor for a brief question-answer session and discussion. We have many architects, engineers who are attending this particular webinar. I invite the audience to share their questions and engage with our panelists and engage with each other. Let's have a healthy discussion. And I open the house for everybody to put forward their point of view.
Sujal ma'am wants to say something first.
Right.
Yes,
No,
ma'am, please.
I was just trying to answer Dr. Arshia's question about the future trends.
Right.
So I would like to add, I would like to point out that Maharashtra
Okay.
government has just made it mandatory for the high-rise buildings to have the IoT, like constant monitoring systems. So of course, that is, I mean,
Awesome.
we see that the other state governments will also be adopting the same thing soon, because it is in best interest of the occupants, the building property and all. AI, you would be seeing everybody around us talking about AI nowadays. So we cannot completely ignore that AI is definitely going to be the future trend, even in fire and security industry. So we will be seeing AI-led detection. We will be seeing a lot of AI-led data being analyzed, and like data-driven decision making. Of course, passive fire is also like the compartmentalization, and the strategies revolving around passive fire is going to be a big thing in the coming future. And facades. So when we talk about the future trend, facades are also, the designing of the facade to control fire is also going to be playing a very, very vital role. And we already spoke about BIM. So I think AI and IoT is definitely the future trend.
Future of fire safety.
Bilkul.
Thank you.
Good, Sujal. So, Arshia ma'am, I want to share that we have very, new faces and very expert people from her field. Architect Akhtar Chauhan sir, he has
Yes,
joined
sir.
from Bangalore. Architect Radhika Gopinath, she is from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil
Yes.
Nadu, Karnataka, and presently residing in Delhi. So
We have an August gathering.
Seema Sharma ma'am, we have, globally recognized cybersecurity expert, and she's our CWC member also, newly joined. So, first of all, I am requesting all, if possible, please switch on your camera so that we can take the photograph also. And sir, Akhtar sir, unmute please. If you want to share something, sir, yes.
Yeah, so it's nice to hear this all the discussion, and really say I'll just introduce myself. My name is Akhtar Imam. I am a practicing architect in Bangalore last 26 plus years. And I have designed many buildings in Bangalore, in fact, all over India. So we have some around 20 running buildings and high-rise apartments, all that kind of buildings. Okay. So coming to my questions, I have raised 2 questions now. One question, that is the practical challenge, what I'm finding. Most of the time, fire departments always give fire notes as NOC. They never written the drawing as a comments. Architects are submitting their drawings to the fire department and they are getting notes. And most of the time, these notes are getting neglected, like not interpreted properly. And many of the buildings, we notice like basement ventilations for different, all the basements would have separate ventilation. All that is getting neglected. Many of the buildings we noticed. And fire department is not capable of going and checking physically all that because notes are already given unless there is a fire accident or there is any complaint from anyone. So this is a big challenge. I don't know, like maybe panelists can open up and suggest how to address this. That is number one. And my second question is regarding some change in the fire norms in 2015, where the helipad was earlier 60 meter and above, now it is 200 meter. So how it is going to impact and how come it's got changed? Some of your opinion about this. So, yeah.
Anybody would like to answer from the audience, from the panelists? Most welcome to contribute their thoughts.
Sridevi ma'am wants to say something. Ma'am, unmute please. Unmute. Yes, please.
Yeah, I think, good evening to you.
I think ma'am is also from Bangalore, na?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also sitting in Bangalore now.
Yeah, presently, yes.
I'm in Whitefield. She is in Jalahali. And sir, where are you from? Are you addressing us from? Architect
Akhtar sir.
I'm from Bangalore.
Which place, sir?
Bangalore,
which place?
Bangalore. Okay, my office in Brigade Road as of now.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So,
all three are from Bangalore.
Right.
Yeah.
Sridevi ma'am, Arshia ma'am, and Akhtar sir. Yes, please.
Can I come in?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So I think helipads are, more symbolic, or let me say they are more auxiliary. I mean, in India, still they are not thought about as a primary life saving strategy, life safety strategy. The reason is even globally, if you see helicopter-based evacuations in high rises, they happen extremely in a limited way. One of the reasons probably is because the smoke or the heat plumes, they tend to rise above, right? So when if you would have seen any fire with a very thick smoke, like black colored smoke, having the helipad on top of the building may always not be the right evacuation strategy. So, I have a very limited knowledge about the height. Probably, the architects who are present over here, they can comment on that. But from the reality, like the ground reality check point of view, I feel that helipad is more of a symbolic thing than real life-saving strategy. Of course, now when we talk about like super high-rise buildings, probably helipads will have to be there. But I reserve my own doubts whether or not they would be extremely helpful when it comes to evacuation or firefighting strategies.
Can I come in?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, I was trying to answer Architect Akhtar's point. So it was a very valid point. They don't return the drawings, and only the NOC document is given. But at the time of OC, They come with the drawings. Like at the time of OC, they bring the drawings and they cross check, if I am right. Generally, it's like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, sir.
yeah, normally say, no, what is exactly concern is they put everything in the notes. On the
Yes, sir.
left hand side, they will put all the NBC clauses. Right hand side, they will put what is exactly there in the buildings, what we provided. Just to understand what we are providing, they will read the drawing submitted by architects. Even there may be something which is required as per FAIR norms, but not shown in the drawing.
Yeah.
But they will give a comments. Okay, this has to be like this. But these are all small points which sometimes they also not able to come and see that
Focus.
physically at site,
Yeah.
not able to notice. Okay, and then because NOC is given and there is a certificate from architect, they have it's a responsibility of that architect to check all the points, and they architects are giving their certificate for occupancy and all that. Based on that, final occupancy certificate is being
It's
given by
given.
the authorities. So all the responses is going to on head of the architects,
Right.
not the authority.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if
Okay.
something
Okay, sir.
goes wrong, in case of any fire accident or anything, so instead of catching these authorities first, they will
Right.
catch the architect first.
Architect.
You have
Understand.
not checked, or why you have not informed if something was not implemented, even the notes was given. And challenge is the PMC team at site are sometimes not able to interpret that part which is mentioned in the notes. See, once we are giving building sanction drawing, authorities will used to give it back 2-3 times and ask all the clouded
Yes.
part to correct this part. And once the drawing is 100% as per the norms, then only they will give the approvals. This is not happening for the fire. Okay,
Good,
so
good, sir.
Uh, uh, this is Ashwath. Can I come in?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, can you
Yeah,
switch on your camera, sir?
yeah,
Ashwat,
one.
sir?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, please, sir.
Yeah. See, to add to Mr. Akhtar's point, the helicopter, instead of using it at times of crisis, that can be used as an ambulance also, I think. One point.
Okay.
Point number two is nowadays drones are used extensively for saving lives and supply of any other thing, or it can be fire extinguisher. So things can come improve in coming days, I think.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I will give the input and Akhtar.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, over to you. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
regarding, because sir, you
Ashwat
are
sir is
very
also from Bangalore.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
uh,
stay in Baswangudi.
good, sir.
yeah.
Thank you.
We
So,
we both worked on many of the buildings together,
Okay.
and
Thank
yeah.
you.
Ashwat sir used to be from client side. I am from the architect side, so he's very experienced.
yes,
And he's heading one of the very reputed developer in Bangalore. So his
good.
experience and his knowledge is really very nice. And we also used to learn from his practical knowledge and all that. I learned a lot from him. So whatever is, yes sir, yes sir.
Yes.
So that is there, and nice
Radhik.
to see you here on this panel, sir.
So, from FSAI Chandigarh chapter, we are very happy, sir, that we have expert panel from whole India.
Yeah.
Yeah. Architect Radhika Gopinath.
Yeah, very good evening, everyone. Really wonderful session today. And I'm very thankful for all the panelists to giving their insights. And just being a research scholar, I was very curious actually. That's the reason I've taken this topic. So disaster risk reduction, my topic is very complicated, where I target a person with disabilities, then mass transit, and the disaster, all three together. So I just want any of the panelists to just throw light on this multi-hazard systems, early warning systems. We are more into fire-related things. Our equipments are already in place. So anything related to that, if you wanted to share, because being in future we are going to undergo different types of hazards, and so are we prepared in that way or not, and what is your experience in that? Just wanted to know.
Panelists, other people also answer.
Anybody in the audience as well, you're most welcome.
Yes.
Because now the user spectrum is increased, so we have a person with disabilities almost 18, catering to 18. Though we have visual warning system also, that caters only limited people, like say hearing impaired or a visually impaired people with the audio sensor and all those things. So I wanted to know what is happening in the latest trend, since you are in last 20 years dealing with these kind of systems.
So basically for special people, you are you are inquiring how do we deal during the fire safety. And that's a very wide spectrum of special people. There are a lot of categories. Yes, it is a very challenging option, and it is a very challenging situation. I feel with what senses and what impairments they have, accordingly to develop a kind of a system would require a lot of efforts. And yes, it's a very sensitive way of thinking, because usually we don't cover these kind of things. Universal design does not come to fire safety. And this is something which is food for thought. And I think we all agree with you that, yes, we need to think in this kind of a direction and, move forward. And this is a very important question you have raised. Most of us, really don't have an answer, because actually we've not looked in this kind of a perspective before. And
that's why she's doing research now.
Yes. And I think
Radhika's research question has thrown a lot of challenge to every one of us.
Yes,
now
absolutely.
Just imagine how even the people, firefighter also knows that the person has a visual impairment. Okay, that at least can be seen. Hearing impairment, they would have giving instruction over there, and this person doesn't even know. This is only one small thing. So like that, identifying the disability, or the disability is not public nowadays, right? Now they are like normal people. So among the normalities, it is very difficult to differentiate the abnormality. So that is the challenge over there. So I think we should bank on some kind of a AI system in future, maybe to disintegrate this particular issue. So Radhika's research, I think it should be presented at the end of it and tell us. And please educate us what is your finding.
We can have a good presentation.
Yes, I think we are thinking that Radhika Gopinath research is basically, support the UD, universal design concept, and, different type of safety for the challenged people.
Yeah. Thank you
Good,
so
good,
much.
good.
A wonderful question, I feel, and it left us thinking, like, how do we answer it? So, like, it's really, and as Amrutha rightly said, we have to think on this, and maybe AI can come in and many things. You have to present your research and finish it with all of us. We'll be so happy to see it.
Yeah,
Nagendra sir, you have the next event ready now. You have the next event ready. You have to have Radhika on.
We got the topic. Yes.
Yes, the big topic. Yes.
So, Seema ma'am, you also want to say something? And today's session is also, we are very proud that we have the Punjab government representative also, Kamal Kishore ji. He is the senior officer from Mahatma Gandhi State Institute of Public Administration. And very shortly, FSAI Chandigarh chapter is going to sign MOU with that government organization. So, Kamal Kishore ji, you want to say something?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Sir. Spectral all, good evening.
Switch on your camera, sir.
Camera is on, I think.
If possible, can you switch on your camera, please?
Sir, camera is on, ji. I don't know.
I think his
Not
camera
coming.
is not
Acha,
working.
anyway, please.
His camera is
aa
not
gaya.
working.
No.
No.
Maybe some. Okay, sir, please go ahead, sir. Shima
Okay.
ma'am, Sanjeev sir is also joined. Our secretary, sir.
Respected all, good evening. First of all, thank you, Dr. Nagendra, for this wonderful session, for allowing me to listen and getting insight of this session. I am working as a senior specialist in Mahatma Gandhi State Institute of Public Administration. This is a government ATI of the Punjab government, where all the officers from IAS officer to even to PN is trained there for the government service. Where one of the vertical pillar is engineering infrastructure development center, where all the government engineers are trained there. So
Right,
during my
sir.
training, before that, I worked as an executive engineer in the Department of Water Supply and Sanitation, Punjab, where I see that the people don't know how to prepare the estimate in government sector. Preferably, I'm talking of the government sector. The estimate prepared in the office differ from the site. People don't go at site and don't see the things, and first of all, they don't get the NOC from the fire department. The estimate is okay, we can call the tenders or not. After calling the tenders, the fire department, they don't fulfill the requirement as per the fire department, and no, after that, there some problem came, revision of the estimate, that's very difficult, and the NOC hangs this way or this way, this way. So that's why we decided to train the engineers on firefighting estimates, how to prepare and how to get it done, and importance of that. So that's why I requested Dr. Nagendra that we should have a MOU, and we can have combined training sessions, live sessions, workshops
Definitely,
at
sir.
our institute, so that we can train our engineers in a better way, and so that their team can grow and give good result to the state as well as to the country. So soon we
Together we
will have.
will together we will do some efforts for Surakshit Bharat, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So nice of you. So
So
first thing is that when the estimates prepared in the government sector, preferably, that must be vetted by the fire department before calling the tender. After execution of fire department say something, we say something, and the NOC hangs in this way or this way.
good, sir.
That's what the gap we are going to fill up very soon. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. So now, Seema ma'am, you want to say something?
I just want to say thank you to all of you to join this wonderful meeting. And I really say warmly thank you to the panels, like who has given the really amazing answers. Like we are really happy. And this is my first session with you. I'm really, I enjoyed it. And I really want to do more as a woman. So to make people aware, though don't have a awareness related to fire and, the security, because I'm working in a cybersecurity and IT infrastructure. But I feel like nowadays people, they are surviving in a cybersecurity point, and also like they are not aware about the fire and safety. So I really love and I'm really enjoy, because I have done one training program with Mr. Bhardwaj. So that was really amazing, and the way people, they enjoyed, because they wasn't aware about the fire, how to use the equipment at all. And after that, once they know how to use it practically, I can see the feeling and the happiness over there on their face. So I really want to keep giving these kinds of training in a future. So thank you so much. That's all which I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So,
So
shall we?
one more architect says architect Apurva Gaur.
Okay.
Apurva Gaur, ma'am, you are here. Okay, so over to you, moderator, ma'am.
Yes, sir. We'll close the session now. It's been wonderful, and I think we've got a good number of insights, and we have got into our fold Naaris, which will work towards more Surakshit Bharat and Surakshit construction industry. And Akhtar sir, your observation was brilliant, and it is very important that the language of the fire safety compliance officers and the architects be the same, our grammar be the same, and they have to vet the drawings more than anything else. And it was a pleasure moderating this session. Loved each movement, and it was lovely reconnecting with you, Amrutha. And
Yes.
lovely.
After a long time.
Yes, it's I think 2007.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
that was the time.
So, and Swati ma'am, it's pleasure, absolutely. And Sridevi ma'am, yes, we worked together also.
Thank you so much.
We have had a great time. We are missing on Sujal ma'am. She had to leave a little early. And thank you so much. I hope we meet at platforms like this. And maybe next time we can involve more students. It was a big effort this time. We are also according to Nagendra sir, we are initiating, and we are, things are falling in place. And they were very hectically involved with the fire safety week. So posters and all were a little delayed. If they would have come a week back, we would have, gotten a lot of students. So thank you so much for the panelists. Thank you so much for the audience for taking out time and being a part of this show. And we look forward to greater interactions. And thank you so much, Nagendra sir, giving me the opportunity. I think Sandeep sir has left, or he's there. Thank you to him.
No, he left.
Yeah. So, and great. Thank you, and have a
He's
great
somewhere
evening
in function,
ahead.
marriage function. Yes.
And I hope we have utilized our Sunday very well.
Very well.
Yes,
Very
absolutely.
well.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you so
Well
much.
spent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. A
Thank
wonderful
you. Thank you.
initiative.
You also, Professor Dr. Arshia ma'am. You have managed each and everything very, excellent way. Wonderful
Absolutely.
sessions.
Yes,
So,
yes.
okay. So, सब लोगों को एक बार फिर से
नमस्कार
बहुत
जी।
बहुत आभार.
जी.
Someone want to say?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So my request to all of you who is not the member, please be the member of FSAI. And to all, we are greetings on the auspicious day of Akshay Tritiya.
Yeah, thank you
Today
so
is
much.
Akshay Tritiya.
Yes.
I think we should go for
yes,
shopping
पूरे
now.
भारतवासी को अक्षय तृतीया की बहुत बहुत बधाई.
जी. Thank
सब
you.
लोग.
Okay, जी. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you
Right,
so much.
Shubhratri. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shonuji. Thank you. After a long time, Akhtar sir.